So more on the ISTE standards for students. So as you recall from your work last week, there are 7 standards for students in the ISTE standards. This week, we're going to focus on the digital citizenship standard for Digital Citizenship Week. There's 2 parts to this standard. There's a general overview, which is prompts A through C, and then an age band benchmarks section, which is prompt D. So starting for prompt A in the general overview, just take a guess. What do you think in that idea, digital citizenship? Like, what are, do you think, 4 to 6 categories? Just take a guess at what those categories of any curriculum that deals with digital citizenship for students ought to include. Just take a guess. And that's, again, just to get your brain going. And then you look at two resources, the ISTE standards, which you know, just look at the digital citizenship standard on the web page that I linked to and just click the plus button. Click on the plus sign. And then Common Sense Education, if you look on their page, you'll see 6 rectangular boxes. You might have to scroll down to get them, but those are their 6 categories. And those aren't correct. That's just how 2 pretty good resources have kind of conceptualized what digital citizenship includes. For prompt B, just to review, like which ones did you include in your prompt A response? Which one of the categories from here or here, conceptually, not exactly. And then which ones didn't you have in there? And that's it, pretty straightforward. And then we go back to the ISTE standards for students. Digital citizenship, which again is one of the 7 standards, but digital citizenship has 4 benchmarks, just like most of the standards, and I'll clean this up, A, B, C, and D. And for each of those, just give it a 1 to 3 word title that you think captures the essence of the benchmark. And that's it for prompt C. It's just really, I want you to think about like what is in these benchmarks. And then finally, there are age bands for all of the standards, but here we're going to look at the digital citizenship standard. And it's broken down into 3 age bands, ages 4 through 7, ages 8 through 11, ages 12 through 14. And each band has benchmarks that are appropriate to the band, to the age. And this makes sense because middle schoolers use digital tools a lot differently than preschoolers do. And you can find those age band benchmarks on pages 24 through 29 of the ISTE Standards for Students ebook. It's in the module 6. It's also linked here. It'll pop up in a minute. And if you scroll, you can see in the table of contents, this is what you're looking for. You're looking for, oh, it's not letting me highlight, but age band articulation, ages 4 through 7, 8 through 11, 12 through 14. That's what you're looking for. And then what you're going to do is you're going to choose either one of the benchmarks, you're going to either choose all the benchmarks within a single age band. So like you might choose the 8 through 11 band, and you would just give an example of how a student could demonstrate each of the 4 benchmarks for that age band. So that's option 1, is that you do all the benchmarks for a single age band. The other option is to take a look at one of the specific benchmarks across all the age bands, just to kind of see how it progresses. So choose one of the 4 benchmarks, 2A, 2B, 2C, or 2D, and track it across the 3 age bands. And for each age band, give an example of how a student could demonstrate the benchmark for that grade band. And that's, I think, about it. As ever, encouraged to try different means to express your responses. I really appreciate some of the creativity folks have shown. And hopefully it's a little easier for some of you to have those options available to you. Plus, it'll help you practice using some tech tools, possibly. And previously I said if you can't get it to my courses, don't submit it. I'm realizing that requirement's a barrier. So even if you can't get it into my courses, feel free to figure out just as long as I can somehow see your response, then do that. Feel free to explore. Hope that's helpful.